Hello and welcome back to my channel, cuties. I turn into a completely different person when I have nails on. By the way, peep the nails. Okay, don't focus, make me look like a doofus. Oh, there you go, cute. They're the same as episode 1, and they're gonna be the same for the whole series, so I'll just put that out there. I'm just showing them off so you see them again. Compliment me or else. Anyways, welcome to episode 2 of Formula 1 Face Cards Spooky Edition, where I'm going to pick out a Halloweeny spooky makeup look and then mash it up with the colors and aesthetics of a Formula 1 team. Let's get into it. Now, I identified this last time where I was like, I put them in identical looking pieces of paper in identical like containers, so I don't actually know which box is which. We're just gonna deal with that. We're just gonna deal with that because we're professionals. Okay, so drum roll please. This is either the look or the team. We're gonna find out. Oh, my nail fell off. Ah. Just in case you don't know, this is being held on by blue tack. Okay. Oh, it's a team. Okay, yeah, so we have got the team Redbull. Okay. They've got like a couple of colors to work with, red, blue, yellow. I don't really remember all the looks that I put into the bin to choose from, so I don't really know which would be perfect for this, but we'll see. Alrighty, now the look. Drum roll please once more. Okay, let's see. What do we have? Ooh, zombie. Okay, zombie. Okay, zombie. We can work with that. Can we? Well, you will find out today. Redbull colors and a zombie look. Okay, yeah, we can work with that. Now let's find, as I said last time, some inspiration, because best believe my brain does not have the capacity to just bring this up on its own. I'm kind of loving the idea of having my normal face and then have little like patches of the zombie come through. It's like mid-bite, like it's still processing, it's still marinating. I love doing this. And as always, we're gonna take these girls off because while I'm definitely more personable with nails on, I'm definitely more dysfunctional with nails on. So I'm gonna tie up my hair. Anything you have to say about the size of my forehead, my family has let me know already. Okay. Yeah, not just my siblings, my entire family. So yeah, get that. So the way I'm doing these is they're kind of tutorials, so I use the word tutorial lightly. Feel free to use an actual one, but if you want to recreate this look, I'm just going to talk through how I'm doing it. So I'm going to use a brush and a bit of like a black eyeshadow so I can easily wipe it away and kind of map out the little parts that I want peeking through. So the Redbull colors are like dark kind of navyish blue, yellow and red. So I think I'm mainly gonna stick to dark blue and red. I feel like the less colors the better. Where's the trusty dusty mirror? And by mirror we mean the broken lid of an eyeshadow palette. Oh. Goop in my eye, we love that. Very zombie, very on brand. So we'll do like a kind of like a little something like that. Kind of map out. We'll go until like about there. Maybe we'll do one on my forehead, given the surface area I'm working with here. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is just finish up like the base of the regular skin, because that's pretty easy, and I feel like this is something that when I say this is my tutorial, this is something you could follow easily. I'm starting off with concealer. This is L'Oreal True Match. Oh, beauty girl. Yeah, her. This is 7.D. Am I supposed to say point? /W. Golden Amber. And go... Actually, before I do that, yeah, I said this is a tutorial you can follow. Apparently not. I like to go in with this like orange and a mixture of orange and pink, peachy pink eyeshadow, because I don't have a color corrector. And I'm gonna save up for the Huda Beauty one. One day. Instead, I just use like an orange eyeshadow, and then there's no setting business involved because I've just set it because it's powder. Again, a reminder, I did eye STEM in high school for 2 years. Do that, and I'm gonna do around my mouth except for where the zombie bit is. If you have what I like to call the Homer Simpson mouth, where you've got a bit of grayness around your mouth, which is totally fine, totally gaggy, like Homer Simpson, what an icon, this can be helpful for you to cancel out some of those gray tones so that when you put your concealer, foundation, whatever on top, it's not gray and like ugly looking. Now we go in with said concealer. Okay. So and what do? Similarly to our chicken, marinate. We're gonna let it marinate so that it's like thicker and then kind of like more pigmented when we blend it out. Otherwise, I'm just gonna sort of like vaguely spot conceal. There's, not to sound like my skin is perfect, but there's not too much. You know, I saw a picture of me a couple of years ago when I like I just straight up didn't wash my face, just raw dogged life. And my skin has really improved. So as infuriating as it sounds, drinking water is good. Speaking of, let's hydrate. I love sippy cups. Grab myself a sponge, tap her away. I'm still gonna let the concealer marinate a little bit. In the meantime, let's do a bit of bronzer. I use, okay, don't come for me. These are matchmaker drops that's supposed to fix your foundation. But whenever I do that, it just turns my foundation grey just because of the undertone. But when I use this as a bronzer, it looks warm. Magic, or I'm fooling myself. We never know. You know, I was originally a sponge girly, and then I transformed into a brush girly, and now I'm back on the sponge train again. Alrighty, so I've gone in and blended everything all out, and now I'm gonna go in with blush. To fit in with the red sort of color from Redbull, I'm gonna go in with a red, well, this is the lipstick. This is Red Revival by Rimmel? The packaging is rubbed off, but I'm fairly sure it is Rimmel. Rimmel London. Usually I'd go in with a brush, but just so I can concentrate it in the one area. I'm blushing, oh my god, am I turning into a zombie? I would not survive the apocalypse. Girl, let me tell you. So you know what, while I'm here, how long do you think you would survive in a zombie apocalypse? And what parameters would that involve? In the comments, let me know, because I would not survive. I'll just put that out there. Okay, moving along. We're gonna do a red eyeshadow look on the regular eye. So I'm gonna start off with a neutrally transition shade. Now we're gonna go in with a bit of a warm brown to just start. Probably should have done this and then the concealer, because like fallout. Well, nuclear fallout. Zombies. Okay, then I'm gonna go in with a smaller brush and a red eyeshadow. And we're gonna just pop that into the lash line. Now to spice things up a little bit, we can go in with a shimmer. Should I use yellow? Because Red Bull, yeah, no, we'll use a yellow, like a yellow gold. Putting her up on the brush. Okay, that like completely disappeared. Alrighty, tutorial, she said. Tutorial. Okay, we're gonna do our little concealer trick for the cut eye. Cut crease, not cut eye, don't cut your eyes. Dab on a bit of concealer, because the shimmer won't really adhere to that matte base of the eyeshadow that's already there. And then now we can pick up our yellow gold eyeshadow and essentially stamp her one. Oh, that worked. Okay. Yeah, that's doing Red Bull. Red Bull gives you wings. Oh, wings. Maybe I can make it look a bit more wing shaped. Let me zoom in. So this is what we're working with. Wing shaped. Okay, just pretend it looks like a wing. Then I will just go in with a little angled brush and we're gonna do a liner. And I'm also gonna go in and do a bit of black right on the lower lash line. You people who put the thing in your waterline, you scare me. I'm impressed me, but you scare me. The people who do that, you always look really good. I'm not a hater, I am just scared of you. Now I'm going to go in and just set that one under eye. I use the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder because it was cheap and available. Much like most of the products I'm working with here, I don't necessarily know that these are the best products, but they are cheap. So, you know, and I don't look like a complete idiot. Complete being the keyword there. Going in with a little powder, poof, poof, poof. I will also just go in and lightly set the rest of where we put any concealer around the face for the normal bits. I say normal like this because am I normal? Audience, decide for yourself. Let's go underneath here as well a little bit. Now this is where I think I'm a genius. It's not so much a bake as it is a microwave. Every single time I watch celebrities do their little Vogue video and they say, oh, it's kind of like a mini bake. I'm like, why haven't you said it's a microwave? Isn't that genius? Me on Vogue coming to cinemas near you. Now let's get into the zombie. So first I'm gonna mix a shade. Okay, this is the color I've landed on. I don't want it to be too dark. I still want to be able to see the things, so it may not be exactly the same Pantone tone as the Red Bull blue, but we're going with it. And so first you just sort of want to make like a blob type shape, but then to make it a little bit more, not really realistic because there's no such thing as zombies, but I don't know, just a bit more cool looking, is we'll make kind of like the rips of the skin and it's emerging out of you. Just like how out of Max Verstappen the spirit emerged back to win. Now I'm filming this before Singapore, so I don't know what the state of the championship is looking like right now, but if it looks like Max Verstappen could win 2025, that is gaggy. It would be nice if somebody else won it, but it would just be really funny, wouldn't it? What would be so gaggy is if it was one of the McLaren drivers wins the championship, Max comes second, and the other McLaren comes third. Am I trying to instigate something? Yes. Yes, I am. Now there's gonna be a line between my hairline because I just don't want to do that because then I'm gonna have to wash out of my hair, and I have dyed my hair recently and I just don't want to do that. Okay. So now I can go in with one of these type brushes, sort of a pointy, skinny little brush, doing little swipey things like this. I'll zoom you on in. And do them varying like lengths downwards. They won't all be the same length. So now what I'm going to do is, I don't have Q-tips with me, but I have toothpicks and tissue paper. So that is just gonna have to work. Maybe I would survive the apocalypse. I'm so resourceful. Is this subtle foreshadowing that I like stab myself? Using your little makeshift or otherwise Q-tip, kind of go in and make little indents. So as you can see, I've done the same thing that I did to my forehead to my eye as well. So I've created those little loopy, kind of crawling out, creepy bits, whatever you'd call them. Go in with some concealer and just sort of clean up around those edges. Alrighty, so now that that step is done, you just want to go in, I'm just going to go in the same small eyeshadow brush and pick up a sort of cool toned brown and use that to go in and start shading around all of those little projections, is the only word I can think of. Just having a cream base underneath an eyeshadow always makes them pop, so don't worry. Not like you guys are worrying, because not like you guys are taking this seriously like an actual tutorial. Now I know this is kind of old news, at least definitely by the time this video will be out, but has anybody seen Marvel's Zombie? How did you guys like it? I liked it. However, I think they could have just waited and done more episodes. This didn't feel like a complete season, if you will. This felt like Zombies Part 1, and then they're gonna do Part 2, like a release later. It wasn't rushed, it just felt incomplete. The zombification of Alexei, spoilers, whoops, probably should have said that first. Anyways, but yes, zombification of Alexei made me the saddest. Ooh, here's a conversation starter. If you could turn 3 people into a zombie, which 3 people would it be? I'm asking you who you don't like. I guess, you know, Red Bull being zombie is pretty fitting because being that second Red Bull seat sucks the soul out of you. Gagged, gaggy. As much as I'm sad to say it, I feel like we're gonna say goodbye to Yuki Tsunoda, which I really don't want to. But at the same time, I want him to escape from the clutches of Helmut Marko, so. But that means our boy, Bob the Minion, Isaac Hajar, is gonna be demoted. So, we're gonna see the spark in another driver's eyes die. Fantastic. Okay, moving along. Now we're gonna do the like mouth bit. Before we do the blue, what I'm going to do is do like the teeth, because that's cool. I'm going to go in with a water activated white face paint, just because these are a lot more opaque. Alrighty folks, so the reference images I've seen, they just sort of make like a teardrop shape, which is fantastic because that's easy. See how opaque that is? I love how I said they're more opaque only for it to be not. So I've done the teeth and now I'm going to fill in the little blue bits. Okay, so I've gone in and done the blue, I've added a little bit more, and now what I'm going to do is use black to outline and add some more creepy details. First, we'll outline the teeth so that all of them can be separate and they look a little bit better. And don't come at me with the like, oh, that's not anatomically accurate. Oh, what if a genetic mutation was induced by the zombie infection? You don't know. Okay, so I've done the teeth. Now I'm going to go in and use the black to outline all of the blue patches and add a few little lines and dots and like creases. Okay, and then go in and just add a few little lines like that. Zombies get wrinkles too. Hashtag no such thing as ageful gracing. Graceful aging. I've been stuck in this for a little too long. Now what I'm going to do is, even though I intended it to be kind of like a liner, I'm actually going to go ahead and smudge it out. So yeah, of course if you're going in with the water activated liner, you wouldn't really be doing this step and it would be a more like pop art kind of look, but unfortunately, being the resourceful would totally survive in a zombie apocalypse people that we are just going to work with what we have and then just sort of add in a few little dots, or maybe not. Or maybe not. Okay, I'm gonna finish some little like final touches and then I'll show you the final look. This is the final look. So I went in with some mascara and a bit of fake blood to make it look a little bit more spooky, a little bit more Halloween-y. And yeah, I think my favorite part about this is definitely the teeth. I cooked there. Otherwise I give it like a 7. I think I could have done better, but honestly stoked with how it turned out. And yeah, ready to go eat some brains. Alrighty. I will see you guys in the next episode of F1 Face Guard Spooky Edition. Gelato out!